Hello, 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 everyone. I'm Linda G. Robert, your Back in the Groove Again coach, here to help you live your best life now and to make your travel dreams a reality. I'm a travel coach and I love working with busy professionals who so need a holiday. I also love meeting with some travel suppliers who offer something different. And of course, today I'm meeting with Katrina O'Hannigan from Tara Tours Ireland. And Kat works with her husband Liam, and together they own Tara Tours Ireland. They're both originally from Dublin, but now live in the beautiful seaside town in County Meath with their young family. And Kat has a background in fine art and now really, really loves working in the travel industry. I want to know a little bit more about how that happened, but we'll get to that in a minute. She believes she believes in the incredible fulfillment that she feels when she's able to share her love of traveling, of course, and the love of the beautiful country and helping others, of course, create unforgettable experiences. Her goal is to ensure that every visitor leaves Ireland with cherished memories and a genuine appreciation for the warmth of its people. And by the way, Kat, I've recently had some friends leave Ireland. They were there in Ireland, and that's one of the first things that Barb told me is that the people are so nice, so lovely. So she actually validates what you're saying here. And Kat's proudest moment so far is planning a group trip for a gang of ladies who met on a past tour as strangers. These lovely ladies, they now call themselves the Emerald Gals, met 2 years ago while exploring Ireland with the company and are now returning as friends. And of course, we're going to talk more about this too. Now, a little bit about Tara Tours Ireland. Tara Tours Ireland is dedicated to providing experiences of the authentic heart and soul of Ireland. Their philosophy is centered around enabling travelers to truly connect with the local people and places, providing an immersive and genuine experience that goes beyond the typical tourist attraction. Whew. Wow, there's so much to know about you and so much to know about the company. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
The first thing I do want to know about more is about these ladies. Like, tell me
Oh
more,
yeah,
ladies.
the Emerald Gals, as they call themselves now. Yeah, it's a group of six ladies who were on our tour 2 years ago, and they really just hit it off. And they got in touch with us recently enough and said they want to come back and do their own private tour together and see the bits of Ireland that they missed out on the first time. And it's such a lovely thing. I was so taken aback by the email, to be honest, because I had no idea that they were so close, because obviously I haven't seen them in 2 years. So it was just so nice to hear that we made that happen.
Yeah. So where did these ladies come from? Did they come from the same country or?
Oh, they're all from the United States, different parts of the United States. So yeah, they obviously swapped details and kept in touch, and even though they don't live in the same state, they obviously have a good connection with each other.
Yeah. So something
So,
happened on that trip,
yeah,
obviously.
I think it's a good testament to the good crack, as we call it, which is the kind of Irish word for fun, that you have on our tours. It's not just going to visit attractions. There's parts of it that you get to have a bit of fun. We get to unwind with some music and have a few drinks if you're into that, and get to know each other. And it's really nice that that lasting connection happened with those ladies.
Yeah, I want to talk more about that in just a bit, but I want to know a little bit more about how Tara Travels ever came to be. How did this ever happen?
My husband, he is a very, very talented speaker, and he really enjoys history in Ireland. He's a very, very proud Irishman. Um, he worked in Xerox for years, in Ireland here. And when he got the opportunity, he decided to finish his job and open his own travel business. So we did that together 4 years ago. We set up Tara Tours Ireland because we're just very passionate about people experiencing Ireland. And I really don't know if I don't think there are any other companies who provide what we do, which is we want people to see a side of Ireland that other people really, really miss out on. Of course, there's so many beautiful places that people see when they're here normally, like Blarney Castle, Cliffs of Moher. They're all absolutely stunning. But there is so much more to Ireland, and we really, really want to put that out there that um, you don't have to see them to see Ireland. There's so much more. They just get the most publicity, those places.
Yeah. So I know that a lot of people want to visit Ireland. And I'll be honest with you, before we met last week, it really wasn't on my list. It's been on my friends' lists, different friends' list for quite a while. And I saw some movies and all that stuff, but it wasn't, on the top of my list. Now I'm curious. Of course, now I want to go. But what is it about Ireland? Like, what is it about Ireland?
No, I guess it's very difficult to describe. It's a really just a warm feeling. Not that we're not particularly warm country temperature wise, but the warmth of our people is just it's really, really palpable. Um, I mean, I've traveled lots of places around the world and I've really enjoyed them, but I've never felt that I've had a real affinity with any person that I met when I was there. Whereas Irish people, they nearly like take you in under their arm and it's a really, really nice thing. I mean, we're very famous for our Irish welcome. It's
Yeah.
it's our it's our slogan is Céad Míle Fáilte, which means 100,000 welcomes.
And I shared earlier that my friend Barb and June both went there, and they got back last Thursday. And Barb was sharing, and this is the truth. She was saying, "I now understand why the Newfoundlanders are because, of course, we have a province called Newfoundland,
Yes.
and she understands why the Newfoundlanders now have that type of personality because I guess, a lot of people from Ireland came to Newfoundland, I guess. I don't know a lot of the history of Newfoundland, but she says, I now get it. So there was
Yeah.
something about her experience there with the people that made a huge difference.
Yeah, no, our Irish people, we've spread we're everywhere. We really are everywhere. You just have to go to any town in Ireland, any town around the world, and you'll find an Irish bar. We yeah, we're everywhere for such a small nation. It's quite incredible, really. But I do think that the people who emigrated from Ireland brought that with them, that
Mhm.
lovely, warm feeling, that welcoming feeling, and the idea of just meeting a stranger and sharing something about yourself and having a nice affinity with them. It's a really nice, it's a nice kind of thing to have, and yeah, I like it.
So let's talk a little bit more about not so much the company, but about your tour. When
Oh,
we
the
sh
tour.
when we met last week, you said it's different. It's different than the other tours. Now, I want to
It
talk
is.
more about that. Tell us more about that.
Well, as I said, most tours that come to Ireland would be going to the west coast of Ireland to they call it the Wild Atlantic Way, which would be all the Clare, be Cliffs of Moher, they'd be down to Kerry, they'd be in lots of very touristy type places in Ireland, which are incredibly beautiful, don't get me wrong. But a lot of people miss out on the east coast of Ireland, which is where Dublin is, and up quite in the north of Ireland as well, there is a county called Donegal, which is incredibly scenic and very overlooked. So we have a tour called the Heart of Ireland Tour, which is available in October this year and May next year, May 2025, which focuses on showing our guests what we call the heart of Ireland. Um,
Oh,
it's an immersive tour which will bring you through lots of destinations in Ireland which are overlooked, hidden gems as we call them.
yes.
Um, and also, you'll get on the tour, you'll have chances to meet with Irish people working and living in Ireland who uh, maybe provide crafts or
Mm.
um, make local produce and that sort of thing. We bring you to the best pubs for traditional
That's
Irish
always
music
fun.
and drink and dance because there are pubs in Ireland that are geared toward tourists. You know, I'm not going to lie, they do exist. But and unfortunately, they are filled with tourists, so you will not meet an Irish person in them.
Right,
So
right.
we bring you to, well, maybe the barman might be Irish, but we'll bring you to where Irish people actually have a drink, where they
Yeah, and
actually
yeah,
congregate.
that's so important. I mean, if I want to go to Ireland, I want to see Irish people.
Yeah, you know, we're famous for being friendly. And unfortunately, if you go to a pub geared toward tourists, you're going to end up talking to someone who probably lives 200 miles away from you in Canada or America or
Right.
wherever they're from, which is fine. But it's just if this is what you're looking for to meet a real, genuine Irish in a real setting, we'd recommend going to real Irish pubs where people actually would go. So you get really, really nice music that people will dance,
Mm. Mm.
really tasting um, local beers, local drinks. Also, if you a lot of pubs serve food, so you'll get really good traditional Irish food
Mm.
like Irish stews.
Right. I was going to say this too. Yeah.
The stew is very famous, and we do really really like fish and chips would be a big thing here
Mm.
too. Really really fresh Atlantic fish. So that'll be on the menu too. Um, Another part of the tour would be like we go to a stunning castle just outside Dublin, which is privately owned by the Earl of Dunsany, and he himself will be showing our guests around his castle, which
Wow.
is very exclusive to Tower Tours Ireland. So yeah, he's a lovely guy. His name is Randall. He inherited the castle from his father, and it's been in his family for like hundreds of years. I mean, he'll tell you the whole story when you're here.
Wow. Wow.
But he's a really fascinating guy. He's actually a director, a film director,
Oh,
but
wow.
has this incredible castle and incredible stories to tell. Really, really interesting.
Mm.
That is definitely an exclusive for Tara Tours Ireland.
Right. Right.
We also bring you whiskey tasting, and gin tasting in
Mm.
Drumshanbo, which is a really, really amazing distillery in County Leitrim, which is quite near Donegal. What else do we do? Oh, we bring you to sheepdog trials, so you'll get to
What?
sheepdog trials. You know the Irish sheepdog.
Okay, I
Who
had a border collie. Is it like that?
very similar, very similar.
Okay. Okay.
So these really incredible animals, they herd the sheep,
Yes.
just by the even the slightest gesture, they know what their master is asking them to do, and it's just an incredible show. Really, really fascinating show. It's always a favorite with our guests.
Hmm,
And
interesting.
you also get to get a taste of Irish farm life while you're at the sheepdog trials too. So you'll see a working farm.
Right. Right. So who would go to who would attend your tour? Who would go on your tour? Who does it attract generally?
It attracts quite a lot of solo travelers, people
Mm.
who've been to Ireland before and would love to revisit. People who've never been to Ireland before but would like to see something different, and they're not really too interested in being in a crowd because a lot of these attractions get very very busy very quickly,
Yeah.
and it can be a little bit like the sheep that poor the
Right.
sheepdog. um, so yeah, it'd be for people who are looking for something different,
Mm.
something really really unique and a real taste of Ireland. We have local guides around for our tours, so they will be able to show our guests the places that other tour guides don't even know about,
Oh,
you know.
wow.
So
Mm.
it's a really unique tour, and I really hope that that a lot of your followers are finding it. It sounds like something they'd like to do. We'd love to have them.
Yeah. You know, I mentioned in my introduction that I work primarily with busy professionals, right? And sometimes they just want to get away and chill out kind of thing, you
Yeah.
know? It's not about being you were talking about sheep. It's not about being sheeped, here and there. So is it one of these trips that people can enjoy, relax, have fun?
Course. It's not as heavy paced as a lot of tours that we've
Mhm.
seen. Um, and we do have beautiful hotels and guest houses that our guests stay in along the
Mhm.
trip. And you'll spend each night, sorry, you'll spend 2 nights in each guest house or hotel, not just one, so that you are that little bit more chilled out. You have that little bit more time to unwind and relax and not constantly be packing, unpacking, moving along.
Right.
You do get a little bit of time to explore that area in your own time as well,
Well, that's
because
important too. Hmm.
yeah, and so many times guests come back to us and say, "Oh my God, did you know there's a holy well down there?" And they just went for a walk and found it themselves, that sort of thing. So it is a lovely, relaxing type of trip. Obviously, quite a lot you get to see on the trip too. Don't get me wrong, it's not chilled out completely, but you do
Right.
get that little bit of extra time in the day to go and do your own thing too.
Yeah.
And well, if you want to come with us to an evening setting in a pub or like an Irish dancing session, you're more than welcome to join us on that too.
Right. So there's some time to relax, or if they want to participate in something else during the evening, they can do that as well.
Again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the important thing. When you hit a certain age, you want to see things, of course,
Mhm. Of
but you don't want to feel like, out of breath.
course, I know.
Out of,
I think that's the kind of the mistake that a lot of guests make when they come to Ireland is they try and fit too much in,
right,
and they nearly just get a photo at one place and then they have to move on because there's no
right.
time. So it is nice that people can get a nice connection to beautiful areas.
Hmm.
One of the highlights on our tour is the Slieve League Cliffs in Donegal, which are the highest cliffs in Europe. They are sea cliff facing out onto the Atlantic, and they
Yeah.
are much, much higher than the very famous Cliffs of Moher, which everyone goes to.
Oh,
And they're
wow.
much more impressive. And that's why we kind of were like, why don't more people go to see the Sleepy Cliffs?
Right.
They all flock to the Cliffs of Moher.
Yeah, so this
So
brings me to a question that just came to mind. How did you pick your itinerary? Or did you and Liam kind of
yeah, we we love to travel around Ireland. It's something that we would do regardless of whether we own this business or not.
Right.
it's a hobby of ours. We love to spend time traveling around Ireland. So it's as simple as we pick the places that we really, really like the
Oh,
best.
hmm.
Yeah, that's the
The
real
heart,
answer.
the heart is not just the heart of Ireland, but it's also, I guess,
Yeah.
part
Well,
of Europe.
it's the nice thing about working for yourself and building your own tour is that of course you want to go places that you like to go.
Exactly.
So
Right.
that's a nice advantage we have. These are
Yeah.
genuine places that we want to go to again
Yeah. You know,
and
I
again.
I've traveled to a few different places. I wouldn't say all over the world, but I haven't. But I remember the very first time I went to Nunavut, okay, Iqaluit, Northern Canada. I thought that I left a piece of my heart behind. And then when I went to Spain last year, I was thinking that too. But then a thought came to me that I wasn't leaving a part of my heart behind. I was actually taking a part of that experience
Yeah.
and I put that in my heart,
Mm.
which was really helpful to me to understand that no, I'm actually becoming wholer or more heartfelt with all these different experiences.
Yeah.
So, with keeping that in mind, what will people bring back home?
Well, apart from beautiful
That's a tough
souvenirs,
question, okay?
apart from beautiful souvenirs, like obviously there's so many beautiful crafts here in Ireland, and our guests are always they nearly. I've actually seen ladies buy another suitcase to bring home stuff. That's how much they want to bring home gifts. But apart from that, I think just like you said, an incredible fulfillment in your heart. It's really just like travel is such an amazing thing, and you can bring home so many beautiful memories and feelings. So I really think that you'll bring home that for sure. If you're like the Emerald Gals, you'll also bring home a few numbers for future friendships.
Right, right.
Of course, and yeah, I think you'll probably leave with a new appreciation for Irish food. It's something that is always mentioned to us is how fresh the food is in Ireland. Um, and I've often had people email me saying, "Where can I get so and so tea bags or that
Oh,
beautiful butter that I had? Where can I get that?" And luckily, thanks to the internet, that's not as difficult as it used to be. You know, you can get those things sent to you. Um, and also, I think just that lovely feeling that you've left a little bit of you there, or you've brought a little bit of it back with you.
right.
Um,
Right. Yeah.
Definitely. And it's something that I see so many times whenever I would see people talking about Ireland, say on Facebook forums, like Irish Facebook forums are quite popular. I'd see so many people saying, "I left my heart in Ireland."
Right. Yes. And that's how I kind of felt with the Iqaluit in Spain, but I had to really shift that because
Mm.
thinking, oh wow, if I leave my heart there and if I leave my heart there, and and I kind of sh changed it a little bit, going, no, I took a little bit of that and put that in
Mm.
my heart. But you know, as a coach, as a travel coach, my goal is to help my clients change their lives, right? Transform their
Yeah,
lives.
beautiful
And
thing,
that,
Linda. I love it.
through traveling. And what it sounds like, through this trip, that they could experience a change in their lives.
I think that Ireland has a beautiful peacefulness,
Mm.
really, and I think that so many people, not to be too morbid, but so many people want to have, say, their ashes scattered in Ireland, or
Oh,
they'd love to live in, if they want to love to live in Ireland. A lot of people want to retire here. Um, it's somewhere that I think never leaves you.
mm.
That's the feeling I get. It's very difficult for me to know as I've always lived here, but I
Right,
feel, but
right.
I feel like I've seen so many people who just have such a massive affinity for Ireland and really, really love the feeling that they get thinking about it. It is such a stunning country. It is. I'm very happy that I live here. It's um, it's so funny because when you said something about leaving your heart in different places, what do you? But a little known fact is the heart of Saint Valentine is actually here in Ireland. It's in Dublin.
What?
Yeah, and on St. Valentine's Day, it the church that the heart is in is very busy with lovers coming to leave a message for St. Valentine.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
So, of course, we want people to, go on your tour, but what you're saying that Valentine's Day, because I know you have a tour in October and one in May, but Valentine's Day is also another maybe reason to visit.
yeah, it's just a nice thing to have. I think it shows how much our people love Ireland. He wanted to leave his heart here, and
Right,
he's
right.
the saint of love. So I just think that's such a fascinating
That
piece
is,
of
that's an
history.
interesting story too, because I've never heard of that. I've never
Yeah,
heard that story
it's in
before.
Dublin. Yeah, and we do have some of our tour in Dublin. So if anybody wants to pop by to the church where that is, that's definitely something that can happen.
Right, so they could actually see that and be
Yeah.
part of it in a sense. Now, I know you have two tours, May and October. I'm curious, and it's just my own curiosity. At some point, are you planning on expanding or changing? What's what's your thoughts? I'm just curious because I think we we as a business want to continue to grow, and if it works, then it works, and that's great. Are you thinking of at some point adding to?
Yeah, no, we absolutely we would love to add to it. These are just the start of our Heart of Ireland tours in
Right.
relation to promoting them. We have had other tours in the past that were a little bit more mainstream. So this
Mm,
is we of course, we'll add to this, especially as it's going so well. We've had so much interest and so many people book with us. It's lovely that so many people are interested in seeing a different side of Ireland. So, of course, yeah, the demand is there. We will definitely expand and add more, of course.
That's the exciting part about it, right? But I guess when it comes to traveling, we do want to keep part of it. Um, how can I say this? Parts Part of traveling is to, explore new places. And yes, we want to tell the world about it, but we also want to keep it um, less crowded and less
I know.
less busy, right? I mean, that's one of the challenges, I suppose, too.
It is, it's a fine line. It really is. Luckily for us, though, so many guests do just head to all those incredible attractions that everybody knows and loves. For now, anyway. But I'd say maybe in 20 years, some of these places that we have might not be quite so isolated or quiet. So maybe it's best if anybody who's listening gets to Ireland soon.
Exactly. That is a great point. So before we end our call, is there anything else you could add, uh, whether it's related to Liam, because I know you mentioned something about Liam when we first
Yeah.
met, or if it's anything, or if it's anything else that you'd like
Well,
to add.
now that you mentioned Liam, Liam is my husband. He is the guide. I am more at home with the back in the background, looking after all the bookings and our questions and that sort of lovely jobs. But he is the heart of Ireland, if you ask me. He is just such a wonderful character. I cannot put across it. Actually, I must have you have him on your podcast.
Right, right, yes.
He is a chatterbox, but in a good way. He's a chatterbox, but he's very, very warm, very, very fun, and the comments that we've had for his way that he is with people are just so so nice, so heartwarming. How much people really really love him, and they all want to come back and be on Liam's tours again, which is just it's such a nice thing to have. But he's such a knowledgeable guy. He really knows so much about Ireland and about its history. Um, he's Mr. Ireland. That's all I can say.
Well, there
Yeah,
you go. That's a great name.
yeah. And the reason he got into doing all this is because so many people said to him, "You really should be a guide. What this is made for you," because he loves to talk about Ireland 24/7. And as I
Okay,
said, we
well,
love to explore Ireland ourselves. That's one of our hobbies, things that we like to do together,
right, right.
to find these new parts of Ireland that no one else seems to know about.
Yeah.
So it's really just Liam is the heart of our tours. Yeah,
Well, and I think it's important to have someone as a guide who loves what they're doing, loves being with people. That's so important.
yeah, it
And,
really is, and
you know,
it's such an underappreciated part of going on a tour. I don't think that people realize that when they're booking a tour that you're also going to spend a huge amount of time with that person who's guiding you around. And you know, Liam is such a personable guy. People really, really enjoy his company. Like he's a very, very sociable guy. So he will show people the most amazing parts of Ireland, including its pubs. And he's so good at what he does. I really can't put it across. He enjoys all parts of it, the landscape and the castles and the pubs.
yes,
Maybe
well, that's,
maybe maybe some of that more than others.
well, we won't judge any of that.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy. He's really really he's
That
fabulous.
sounds
But
great.
yeah, his the fact that people want to come back and spend time with him, that's such a really nice thing. A really
Yeah.
really um so yeah, Liam is a big part of it.
And I think those Emerald Gals, when are they going to come back, by the way?
They're coming back next June,
Oh,
um,
wow.
for their own private tour. Yes. So
That,
yeah, we're
yeah.
busy in the background putting all that together for those ladies. But they really a lot of it is very similar to what is on our Heart of Ireland tour because they
Right.
were on a more mainstream tour before. They want to see the beating heart of our country. Yeah.
Yes, but now they're coming with friends that they've met from on that tour.
Yeah.
It's
It's so
almost
nice.
like a reunion, right? It's almost
Yeah,
like a,
no, it's really, really something. I'm really very pleased with
yeah.
it.
So how
Um,
can people find out more about your company? And I will put, the link
of course.
in email.
Um,
How can
our
people find out more?
our website is www.taratoursIreland.com.
Mhm.
We're on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. So you can contact us through any of those things. Um, and we have our email and our phone number are available on that website too, if anyone wants to get in touch. I think probably the best way to explain how we work would be to have a phone call with someone who's interested, if they want to, have a short Zoom chat with us to really get a really good impression of what we have to offer for them on this tour, and also to meet Liam. I think that once people have that chat with Liam, they just are hook, line, and sinker. They want to go on that tour.
Yes.
Yeah, you might have interviewed the wrong person today. It probably should have
No,
been.
I didn't. I interviewed the right person. You had me at hello.
Oh, that's so nice.
Well,
No,
it's been a pleasure. And, I had fun the first time we met. And I just thought, well, we've got to meet again and find out a little bit more about
no.
you and
It
about
was really
your
nice,
company
really
too.
nice. And you're such a lovely person to talk to, Linda. Really,
Mm.
really loved it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.